once you've built your list of properties that you want to target, one of the best ways to target owners is through direct mail. So let's dig into that. So why direct mail? Direct mail can be personalized. It's easy to automate so that you can send this out with only a couple of clicks each month, or just some small changes. Um, it's relatively cheap as a form of marketing. It's a great way to get started. This is how I got started and found a couple of my first deals. And there's massive reach because you can mail to anywhere across the United States. So it's a great way that way as well. So most common types of direct mail, you're looking at postcards. This is traditionally more for single family that I see. People that are looking for single family homes to flip, they'll use a lot of postcards. It's just easier to get a lot out and a little bit cheaper. I've also seen flyers, so a little bit more information on there about who you are and what you do. But I think the best way to do it, especially for multifamily, is personal letters. So this is just writing letters, and sending those letters directly to the owners of properties that you want to purchase. So I choose letters for a couple of reasons. They can be personalized, so you can put a little bit of about you on it. You can put something personal like a photo of your family, picture of your dogs, something like that that can connect to the owner and maybe build a connection that they pick you over somebody else. It's better for multifamily just because traditionally the multifamily owners have either done this or saw this. So if they see postcards, most of the time they'll probably just throw them in the trash. But if you do handwritten letter, there's a better open rate that they'll open and actually read the letter. So that's a good way. And it's also easy to change the messaging on the letters. So if you want to change how you're targeting the person, what you're saying, um, that kind of stuff, it's just easy to change the wording in the letter, and then reprint the letters. So what should you include in the letter? You obviously have to format the letter appropriately, and include the address, owner's information, name, so it gets to the right person. A purpose for why you're sending the letter. You want to buy this property. Um, call to action. Looking to sell. Call us today. Email us today. That kind of stuff. Also, you want to generally include a quick about you. Why they should. What's your background and why they should sell their property if they want to sell to you instead of somebody else that they may sell it to. Um, Another thing you want to include is pain points and a solution to that. So, what pain points might that owner, if he's motivated to sell, uh, what would be the solution to their pain points? And maybe they're just tired of managing that property. Maintenance bills are adding up. And what's your solution? What can you provide that gets them basically out of that pain point and removes the pain point? You also try to want to include something that'll set you apart. So this might be something like you close quickly, easy process. You do this, you do that. You're paying all cash, whatever that may be. Something that sets you apart from the other investors that might be sending letters. Reinforce a call to action. Make sure that you're saying, hey, this is what you need to do to get in touch with me. Please call me as soon as possible. Here's my phone. Here's my email. That kind of stuff. Contact info, of course, if they're going to reach out to you, you need to provide all your contact info so they can get a hold of you. There's no problems there. And then just any additional items that you may want to include. I always include, like I said earlier, a picture, my family, dog, something like that, something that maybe like a board or something that just stands out, that'll get them to open it, actually pay attention to it, not just throw it in the trash. The family and the dog seem to work well because if you're selling to somebody or trying to buy a property from somebody that has a family or has that sort of dog or is just a dog lover, that might be, you're in to get them to pick you over somebody else. So sending the letters, an easy way to do it if you're just going to do it yourself, you can start a mail merge through Word. So you just grab your list, and then there's a mail merge wizard that you can use. That's simple step-by-step guide to go through Word, so that you're basically taking your letter and then you're just inputting the address, owner information, and property information where you need to on that letter, so that it just automatically does that to every letter. So it keeps the letter details the same, other than the property that you're mailing to, the address, and owner information. So you select that stuff to pull straight from your list, and the mail merge wizard in Word is really easy to use. And then for addressing envelopes, it's always best if you can either find, if you're sending out through a company, a third party company, maybe one that has font that looks like it's handwritten to get somebody to open it. If you're doing it yourself, handwriting the envelopes is always great because it looks like it's coming from someone they personally know. And most people are going to at least open that envelope to see, what the letter's about. So hand addressing them is great. And then you want to send it on a schedule, send it periodically. So that you could do this maybe every other month, every month, depending on what works best for you. But you want to send it on a systematically so that they're always going out. You always keep your pipeline full. And another key thing for it is you're going to be following up. So you might get calls from the owners that are semi-interested. You want to talk through that with them. But the people that you have talked to in the past, you want to keep those notes on your list of when you talk to them, so you can follow up those past leads. And we'll touch into cold calling in the next course, but you also want to cold call your list in addition to doing the direct mail. So your direct mail list will be, you'll keep it up to date with owner information. If owner information changes, you want to change any of that. You want to put notes on when you talk to them, when you need to follow up again. If you agreed on some sort of, hey, we'll touch base with you in 6 months type of thing, you want to keep that in the notes so you know if you talk to anybody and do you need to take this off the list, that kind of thing. So if you're doing the letters, you can do this a couple different ways. You can do them yourself. This is how I started, sitting at a table, hand addressing letter, like printing them out at Staples, and hand signing them, addressing the envelopes, and then putting stamps on them and sending them out myself. That can take a lot of time, but it's a good way to get started. You can do third party. There's a lot of different companies out there that will actually, you can upload like your letter, which is what I do now, upload my letter or upload my postcard or whatever it is, the template, upload the addresses, and they'll automatically send it for you, do all the mailing, that kind of stuff. It's a lot easier. Then you got to pay for that service, but it saves you a lot of hours as far as not doing it yourself. Maybe you have family and friends that could help you. If you still want to do it yourself, you don't want to pay somebody else, maybe you could pay a family and friend to help you out. Or even I've heard people do retired, get retirees to do it for you. You go to like a nursing home and maybe they need some sort of task to do, and you can give them a little bit of money for that, and they can do the envelopes and everything like that for you. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it. It basically depends on how you want to do it, how much time you want to spend, and you make that decision. So next we'll touch on cold calling owners, which is another great way to get in touch with owners and find great deals.